gotta get cracking out here, man.
Yeah.
Tonight's gotta be the one to do it.
Are these? That looks like the 10 and a half and stuff.
Oh, they reach uppers? Oh, yeah. It's ace two, Joker.
What are those doing? These are the jokers, but
Feel different, huh?
yeah, they can't be. Well, they.
Try what?
Yeah, I don't want part they don't have chips in them. Still handout. How do you know?
That way, you're playing the Jack Links, you know, the mystery card. You see one card.
Oh yeah, we have to have a bug in our deck. Bug. Well, you know.
Mystery card, yes, very good.
And it can aces, straights, and flushes. Just like in
We need the commentator who talks about his ex-wives all the time. Do the commentary. Yeah, I love him.
Button is correct.
My 17th ex-wife.
Lines all going to the 150-300 in 13 seconds.
Shout out to Sam Sleeves, if you're out there. Sam Sleeves.
He's got 6.3.
We'll be getting underway in 10 seconds.
Well, maybe one.
I'm missing somebody.
Oh! Burn! Shout out to Paul in the booth.
Blinds will be 150, 300.
I'll see you guys in a minute. Yeah.
18-minute blinds. And so it begins. Or continues.
Bobby,
Button is on Bobby, so Corey to act first. Again, blinds are 150, 300.
Well, we'd like to welcome Paul Moskowitz to the booth. He took over for Chris. He's not feeling well, so he took off a little early
Marco raises
tonight.
to 1800.
Oh, good luck, Marco.
Thank you.
And let's give you a chip count here. We've got Bobby with 8,825, Rob with 4,300, Mark with 2,000,
That's all right.
Corey with 10,475,
Mark calls with 8.
Dan Crafton with 7,350,
I have pocket nines.
Marco with 1,800,
I think I folded.
Max with 17,100,
Tell me, hand's not going to raise.
and it looks like Ed with 1,050, and Paul just went out the last hand before break.
All right. Hands did not read, but King 9 for Marco
All right, good game, guys.
does not improve. Mark Cutrafella takes it down with 8.
And Marco just went out. Mark took out Marco.
See y'all next week.
You're welcome, Dan.
I don't have a pen back here to write this down.
Who's that, Daniel? No, he's the kind of
Oh, we've got one. We've got one now.
I mean, a pro, like where I'm well, fame and riches, and people are like, the female hands.
Any Jack X. I don't know. Also in hand.
Not too much going on here. Mark with 6-7 suited.
Raise 6.
Yeah, Bobby raising.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Bobby races 600.
Bobby making a steal here when it's folding around to him. No.
Jump chips.
I know we're thinking, oh, I wish I had chips from re-raise. I would raise them so bad.
I mean, I see 7 done. I don't hit them.
Then you move that.
Yeah, I think it's a hand Mark would have liked to have called there, but he just doesn't have enough chips to call.
Action on Max stacks first.
A doo-wop song.
No, I like some Aerosmith.
Oh, Gangnam Style.
Corey with 5, Max with a king, queen of diamonds. I think Max will raise here.
Going up, kids.
Seems more.
Raised to 750 by Max.
Yeah, more. Yeah. Dream on.
See what Corey does here.
I think that they're supplying.
I could see that.
Max raised to 6.
Max made it 750.
Or 750, sorry.
Correct.
Call.
Corey calls.
Anything down on a muff.
Suited and folds.
I think they were your chips.
Action on Corey first.
Max flops second pair here.
Dan, should I pour out a little liquor
Yeah.
for our
Corey checks.
down homie Margo?
Our homie Mario.
I think Max should make a bet here with second pair.
Bet of 1,000 by Max.
That should.
From us, this is one fold away.
And those are our 2 chip leaders, too. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Corey folds. 13 minutes left in the blinds.
That's the thing to do is chips has never had that many.
Right.
Not in this game.
What are you talking about? I had to pull him back in. He was getting his car.
Action on Ed to act first.
Dude, you have chips.
I was like, wait,
I know.
the break.
At least Evan's got a chip stack at your house.
Never cashing.
Never catch.
Rob with pocket deuces. Mark with a 10-9 suited.
Good return.
That's my fault.
Let's see how this plays out here. This is a hand Mark might ship it with.
13.
Robert raises to 1,300.
It's either ship it or fold here for Mark.
Yeah. Like 25.
28.
Suited and Max both with 6-8, so it should be folding here.
Have a good week, everybody.
You too, Marco.
Marco, don't flash and drive.
I know it seems to take me so much longer to get places.
Action on a B million to act first.
It seems like it's
Should run him down. That's not what your wife said.
Mark and Ed both getting in the danger zone here. They're both going to have to get a hand here and double up soon. Mark and Ed. Corey with king, queen suited, folded around to him here. This is a hand he might raise here. Now that he's got a stack. I think Max will just call.
I think Moskowitz's mic is off.
So all that wit that I've been sharing, no one has heard?
Only for me.
I can hear you. I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
All right, so what was Max's action? Did he re-raise or just call?
No, called.
Submit the call
The
for
whole
Max.
time he's been there.
850.
Max will be acting first here.
And he
Okay.
flops the ace. Let's see if he checks here.
Corey's not going to stick around with any kind of bet. So he checks.
Yeah, Corey's going to represent and make the continuation bet here.
Corey bets 900. Max calls.
All right, now
This is where Corey wants to bet, I think. Oh, Jack here would be brutal.
Ooh, maybe the king will be brutal.
I don't think it'll be brutal, but it might get him paid off.
Max bets 2,400.
I think he might have bet too much to get paid off.
I don't know. I don't think Corey puts him on an ace.
Well, when he calls the flop, you gotta think he might have one.
I think the king's going to get him in a little bit of trouble.
I actually think Corey's going to let this go. I think he'll piece this together and let it go.
Unless he thinks straight, I don't know.
He's pretty good at piecing these together and figuring out. He's very, maybe not. And looks like you might be right, Paul.
Corey folds.
No.
No, you were right, Paul.
I knew a Paul would be right there.
8 minutes, 45 seconds left in the blinds. Blinds are 150, 300.
Yeah, the way the hand played out, when he calls the flop and then checks and then leads out, you almost always got to put him on these.
Robert to act first.
I didn't want to interfere with him.
Ed with an ace-3. Let's see if this is where he ships it.
Suited Dan has ace-3.
Max with an ace-10 again.
Again, wow.
Let's see if Ed decides to make this the hand he's...
Raised to 900 by Max.
I don't think Ed will call that.
Yeah, it's either fold or ship it, one or the other.
Sorry, look at that's that.
Looks to be more stack.
I'll take that.
No. Okay.
Bobby folds.
Yeah, that's not it. Bobby had 8,000, almost 9,000.
First to act will be Mark Cutrofello.
With chips comes ego, man. Know that?
No. I never had chips.
Comes ego. So I never have an ego.
Bobby doesn't tend to get out of control there too often unless he gets a
Well,
big
Corey's got kings. He might get into it. with
Mark
the,
calls
Bobby.
300.
What are the blinds now?
150.
153.
Yeah. Corey calls 300.
oh, that's
Smooth
tricky.
call.
That's a tricky play there. He might get Bobby to try and squeeze here.
Wow, I'm surprised on that one.
I'm not. He can get pretty tricky. Bobby tries to squeeze here. Oh,
Bobby folds.
nice fold by Bobby with the ace-9.
Robert checks his option.
Hammered like Marco got hammered? Yeah.
Let's see if this backfires on him. Mark the top pair is going to end up shipping it here.
The danger in what Corey did was, it could have kept two players in that could have
yeah.
easily flopped two pair there.
Mark raises 800.
Got shot straight draw. Rob's got.
Corey just deciding how much to raise.
Raised to 2,100.
Yeah,
2,100.
Mark's going to get the rest of it in there.
Mark calls.
You were trying to trap. God, oh my God, I'm a genius, dude. I am a. Oh. Give me a round of applause.
Mark with not. Mark just picked up a straight draw, and Rob would have hit his.
I didn't have that big hand, but I had a hand limp. I'm like,
That puts Mark out.
Rob would have hit it straight.
Cucapella out in seventh place.
Two hearts and one diamond out there.
I know you're going to flush line that straight through.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a gutsy move on Corey's part.
Right, I know. I figured
He almost asked for trouble there.
Well, in early position, it sometimes pays off to do that. I really like the play sometimes. Because a lot of people in Bobby's spot would have raised there with the ace with a couple of limpers.
You're big there.
And then he can come right over the top of it big, take down a nice pot.
Suited Dan to act first.
That's the big wing stuff.
Folds.
Not a lot going. Max has a small ace.
It's a loose translation.
Translation.
Remember,
Actually, I've heard the translation of it is it's like pretty inoffensive.
Bobby with a
You don't have to
6-9.
take your clothes off all over you.
While he's doing the right.
Yeah.
We got Mark joining us now after he busted out.
Buddy.
Well, Mark, what do you got to say tonight?
I believe that last hand, I knew something was fishy with Corey.
Yeah.
The board looked, even on the putting, gave him a lot more outs.
Right. Yeah, when you're short stacked like that and you limp in and under the gun at 7-8, it's you flop the top pair, you pretty much got to go with it. There was one I wanted to ask you about. You called suited Dan's raise out of position with a king 10. You called like a 30-year stack.
Max stacked first.
I limped in.
Yeah, you limped in and
so many pots early, and Dan can raise a lot of.
right.
We're similar in our suited cadet.
All right, here's another interesting hand. With, I'm sorry, Mark, with B Million and Corey again.
625.
Bobby raises 625.
Yeah, I just thought if you're going to call that much of it, why wouldn't you ship it there with the king 10? I mean, if you're going to, yeah, and just try and take it down there or not have any more.
Re-raised to 1600 by Corey.
You had the queens, yeah. Well, with just one bet out there on the flop to see if he's c-betting, I mean,
Wonder what Bobby's
when
going
you
to put
got
him on
two
here.
overs.
He's folding. He got him to fold jack.
Corey takes it down.
I wish I was that smart.
Yeah, Bobby, he knows that if he re-raises in there, that Jack King is not any good. You know, but what a he has done it every week he's played so far until first break. I mean, he'll steal every now and then when he's got position, and he even did a squeeze play earlier with, when a couple guys limped in.
Action on Ed, who folds.
Which was a good play.
Bobby folds. Robert folds.
No, Ed's
Corey
just getting
folds.
tore up.
Well, Ed is still in.
Suited Dan calls.
Yeah.
No.
Max checks his option.
When you were grabbing chips, you looked over what was called.
Not a lot cooking here. First button, let's take this baby
Both
down.
players check.
Yeah, you hand like this. As soon as somebody wants to bet, yeah. Now Max has got a pair. He's not going to pull it.
1 minute left in the blinds.
I actually
800
did.
bet.
I actually did, just because like Bobby had ace 9, and
Suited folds.
and I really thought Bobby was going to raise with a couple of limpers there.
First act, Bobby B.
I
Million.
was actually opposed to it. It worked out for him, but you and Rob both had hands that could have hurt him. Easily could have flopped two pair. You both flopped straight draws.
Mark turned a straight draw.
You turned a straight draw. Rob actually
He
would
would've
have
hit his
yeah,
ball.
if he had stayed in.
Everybody should
I thought it was personally. I thought it was risky to have no hands.
They're gone.
I mean, so,
The thing is, if you do it, you got to be able to get away from it. And if he'd have got much resistance from Rob, he probably could have got away
All
from
you
the
mean
kings.
up.
With Mark, there was nothing.
Oh, now Rob's got the kings.
You
What's
know,
his
the-
chip stack like? Is he short stack? Is he going to be pushing?
Rob?
Robert calls 300.
No.
Oh, he smooth called the kings.
Yeah. Bobby, he did. He
Yeah, that was
won't
probably
play too
one of
many
the-
hands out of position that are.
No.
He does not get out of line very often.
Well, thinking.
Not near as much as people think.
2 players, Ed and Robert. Oh, I'm sorry, Max is still in too.
All right, now let's see if Rob's smooth call works here.
Ed checks his option.
No, he didn't raise.
No, he just called.
Where they think about their hand and other person's.
Mhm.
I doubt they, that a lot of people don't really think much. There's a lot of people.
All right.
Wait, because he said
He
0 levels
worked
thinking
out
about
for
your
him,
cards,
but
next level.
I don't think he's going to get much action.
Level 1.
Ed
No.
checks.
Thinking about the
Think about your talent. Okay.
Yeah, so
Think about how your opponent.
Robert bets 1,000.
Right.
And then think about how your opponent hurts you and how you.
He'll find out now if anyone has a
So your
seven.
opponent thinks that you think about their hand.
And then it gets the same answer.
Yeah, but then there's.
I think
Robert
he was
takes it
just
down.
hoping somebody had a jab.
It's like rock, paper, scissors. And you're 2 ahead, you're actually 1 behind.
I don't know if he should or not.
That's what happens like when we get like Andy and Trevor and all of us playing like the cash games.
Right.
Dan's like Dan.
Plus, you guys have played so much with each other, I'm sure.
We get into these like weird moments. Sometimes we just run into nuts and you're just like, alright, it's gonna work.
Max is playing a lot of hands
I see where you're coming from though. Yeah.
Early.
and calling a lot lot of raises.
Yeah, that was the hardest adjustment from playing.
First act will be Robert.
You're thinking on multiple levels ahead of your opponent.
Doesn't matter.
You just always try to
Top, top pair, top four, you know.
Yep.
I flopped, I had ace queen and the queen hit.
Yeah, I knew you were in trouble there. I knew there was no way you were going to
Yeah,
fall.
Yeah.
definitely patience in the big tournaments.
Ace seven, ace eight, ace 10.
I
Ed's
think-
going to ship
yeah,
here,
I think
right?
Ed'll ship here, and
Suited hand might.
Other one, the real connections.
Corey might. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's a hand Dan likes to call with. Let's see what he does.
Raised to 1,000 by Corey.
Corey raised it up to 1,000.
Suited Dan calls
He's
1,000.
got some chips now. He'll loosen it up for sure. When he gets chips, he really will loosen it up. And I've talked to him a couple times about it. It's a standard sit and go strategy. You play tight early, which is the standard strategy because the blinds aren't worth stealing. And then when the blinds get up to where it's worth stealing is when you open up your game.
Well, Ed is thinking, I don't know how he can fold. It's a big suited ace
Dan
with
made the
short
call.
stack. I mean, he knows he's putting his tournament on this hand.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got. How much does he have? Like 2,000?
No, it looks like about 900.
Yeah, he's got less than that.
Yeah, he's got. I don't see how he can even be thinking.
All in. 1,100 total for Ed Wurgler.
Yeah, see, he's got with that raise, he's got a chance to triple up.
Bobby folds.
Yeah,
No.
I mean a nice size suited ace too. I mean,
100 for Corey to call, and 100 for Suited Dan to call. 3 players, 1 all in.
Look at.
Now I'm thinking Bobby
He's
wishes he
still
would have
good.
in now.
Both players check. 9 of spades.
Ed's gonna trip. Oh, well, need one
He's
more
still
card.
got to dodge quite a few
yeah,
cards.
yeah.
Both players check.
One more card. He's got to get by,
5 of clubs.
and he
And he
triples out.
does.
Both players check.
He's gonna like that.
God,
That is more than a triple up.
I knew it. Wow, I'm such a genius, dude. I never played.
Ed sitting on 3,300.
With the glasses. 5, 6 times. I knew that. I mean, you. Two of you were sharing cards, probably.
Yeah, I tell you, with a chance to triple off an ace 10 suited when you're that short stacked, it's pretty much a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
Is the button right?
It'd just be like that. I don't know why.
You just
Corey
throw it
Dad
in there,
first.
and if they got you beat, they got you beat.
Damn, it's like 6 different cards and nobody can hit one card
Yeah.
on the board.
Yeah.
That's small odds on
Well, I folded ace 7. He folded it straight. He folded.
Yeah, this is pretty much a standard hand here.
I don't think I have straight.
There's so many of these every night.
Well, no, I have straight.
Mr. Kraft.
Oh my gosh, 3 4 9.
Dan calls.
Suited
Blinds are
Dan
200,
lives in
400.
in mid position with Queen 8 offsuit.
Bobby in the small blind folds.
I love Dan, but sometimes he just confuses the hell out of me.
2 players
Oh,
so flat.
yeah, sometimes he does, yeah.
Middle pair.
Dan flops
You died.
second pair.
Dan bets 600. Robert folds.
I've never seen somebody that can play garbage like him and hit so often.
Bobby's on the button.
Bobby is on the button. First act will be suited Dan.
Suited Dan.
Not a whole lot here. Rob with the king, queen.
Ed folds.
No raises. I'm feeling.
Raise to 8.
Bobby raises to 800.
Oh, 42.
Robert all in for 4,200.
And Bobby will fold.
Yes, sir. Bobby didn't get a read on his cards that hand.
Well, that's just a standard steal.
No, I know. He's been so good at figuring cards, but
Bobby folds.
obviously a wise fold.
Bobby raised, and then
Robert.
Rob went all in, yeah.
Hands up on me.
Max
That's where
stack
Bobby
first.
does get on the line someday. He'll raise the button.
You're an awesome folder.
10 minutes, 30 seconds left.
I'd say 80% of the time.
I know. Best I've ever heard of.
He'll even steal from the cutoff with hands like that sometimes.
He didn't have a stack.
Got a couple suited connectors going here. Corey with 8-9, Max with 5-6. Max folds his.
Like the hands are soft.
Corey's in the blind with his. I'm not sure what's in there.
They're soft. They're supple.
Corey calls
Rob-
from the small
Rob
blind.
just calls. It brings Corey in.
Suited Dan checks his option.
Rob flops a flush draw. Nothing else going on there, though. I imagine he'll bet his draw and take it down here.
12 bet.
1,200 bet by Robert. Takes it down. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left in the blinds.
Well, Mark, good night. Better luck next week.
Take it easy, Mark.
So much for first place, huh?
Big smile on his face. Must quit asking for a towel.
Actually, Paul Bust.
You sure this will help hair growth?
And then he laughed about it. Got a good attitude.
That's why I'm not going in that ring.
Suited
on
Dan.
that. I'm
Suited
sorry.
Dan with pocket kings here.
Ed Dack first.
Go back to how long stay night.
Corey on the button with an ace. If it folds around to him, he's probably going to raise it up.
Corey raises to 1,000.
That much.
A sexy picture of him
Suited
on
Dan.
Facebook. Yeah, sure.
Raise.
Oh my god, that is hot.
That was amazing.
I imagine
So far, the last two pocket kings have smooth called.
Dan's out of position here. I'm fairly certain he's going to raise.
Suited
yeah.
Dan raises to 3,200.
His hair actually looks like
Max
that,
folds.
That hat he always wears.
Yeah, there's some
What are you going to do?
2,200 for Corey to call.
So I posted
I
on
actually
it.
would be surprised if he makes
I
this
said,
call.
holy shit, I didn't realize they had that thing, the Anderson jersey, I was 25 years early.
Andy's father.
He's got position with an ace.
Yeah. Unsuited small ace. Well,
Paul, are you secretly
Yeah.
Brazilian?
like I said, I would have been surprised.
I don't mean that you've gone Brazilian. I just mean that you're Brazilian.
Sure, Dan likes seeing kings there.
B million to act first.
I want to be sitting out there.
We'll play better.
Okay.
I wish I knew what was going on there.
You'll know when you get home and watch it.
Yeah, you will.
Is it about a Brazilian?
Look it, they laugh at me even when they don't know it's about me. Oh, here's some
How to
action.
get a read.
Max with tens, suited Dan with fours. See what
B
Dan
million
does with the fours. He'll act before.
Robert raises to 1,600.
Oh, Rob raises with the ace rag.
This is going to be a fun hand, folks.
See if Max pops it here.
Especially if an ace 4-10 hits the flop.
Suited Dan calls 1,600.
I'd like to see Max repop it here with tens.
I think he's thinking about it, and he's got enough chips to do it too.
Absolutely. Rob will open so many hands.
The only thing that might, him being in an early position, I'm not sure.
Well, that's why you want to repop it here, I think. Oh, wow. I can't believe he folded that.
Max folds.
Yeah, he's not sure he made the right choice either.
Well, he absolutely did.
How do you don't even smooth call it at the very least?
Is that available?
No, I actually have a new.
Two players. Robert to act first.
It's a new perspective for me. That was a surprising fold for me.
Reading poker tells is really good, actually. It's like new age. Like, cause like.
Both players check.
I don't know if you ever remember this. I mean, it's
King of
cool,
spades on the
it's
turn.
like real old school, like, all different games and
Both players check.
It doesn't tell you like when somebody does this, it means this. It tells you like when somebody does this.
What's the river? It didn't show up.
Two of hearts on the river.
All right. Rob's ace rag will take it down.
No.
No, fours for
Kings
suited
and
Dan.
fours.
There wasn't
Oh,
an
there's
eight.
an 8 out
Yeah,
there.
there
I'm
was an
sorry. I
8 on
missed
the flop.
I missed
Yeah,
the
Rob-
8. I
Rob's
missed the
ace
8.
rag,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
I missed that 8.
I didn't see it either. 5 minutes left in the blind.
I'm playing that exact song at the next party.
Robert to act first.
During the election, they had Mitt Romney style. Classic.
What blind's next? 3-6?
So you want to have it, bro.
Correct.
I'd like to know the future.
Okay, look at
I
Rob
can't
now.
see it. That's why I'm
Say
asking.
where it says next one.
Rob with tens this time. Bet he doesn't fold them.
No,
That's important
he
information.
might shove.
Robert to act first.
2000.
Raises to 2,000.
I don't think he's going to see any action.
No, he won't see any action. That's a pretty big raise, too, isn't it?
2,000? What's the blind?
Blinds are 200, 400.
2-4?
I've only had like 8
That's
or
5
something.
times big blind. That's a big raise.
No, that might telegraph.
Robert
a
shows
medium
10s.
pocket pair, but
Tens are good.
nothing.
Dang, I hit
No one else had anything to remotely come close to calling them.
Corey to act first.
Mine was just a little harder for that one. Not much. Didn't you learn anything playing against me? 2 unders is gold. That's how we roll. You got to go in the hand behind. Way behind. I don't think I could have got more forward on it.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, last hand there were
I-
no cards.
I think we're going to see some action here between Rob and suited Dan.
Well, you got Corey with decent cards. All 4 of them.
Corey raises 1,200.
You might have 5 players in this
Corey's
hand.
is not.
Suited Dan all
just
in.
Pushed.
Corey's is just a mediocre hand.
40.
5-2.
5,200.
That might be a good move on suited Dan's part.
He might.
He might just take it down. I don't think anyone's calling.
Rob very well could call here. I've seen him call a lot
Could,
less.
but he's built his chip stack back up. I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah.
Robert folds.
Very surprised there.
Action on Corey.
I'd be surprised if he calls here.
No, he'll never call
Yeah.
this.
Was it 4,000 call? Corey folds.
Yeah, there was
Wait,
never
watch.
in doubt.
Mark that hand.
Fold an ace jack.
I don't think it read.
No! I'm still gonna see it. What minute mark are we? Lines. 3-6.
Action on Dan first.
2-4. 2-4. 2 minutes left. Remember that hand. Cool. Oh, yeah, I'll play it.
I mean, you can make this up, but
Not a whole lot going on here. Ed with an ace. Let's see if he does anything with it.
B million is B million on the button? Yeah, he'll be raising.
8 now.
Raised to 800 by Bobby B. Million.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about to Mark. If you fold to his button, he's going to raise most of the, I'd say 90% of the time, probably 80 to 90% of the time.
Action on Max stack first.
Tonight, I think it's been closer to 100.
Max with the stacks. Remember stacks.
Got a nice little chip stack going there. He's a chip leader too, huh? Max is? He was at the break.
Yeah, was it the break? Not sure now.
1 minute left in the lines.
So Rob with an ace 9. I'm pretty sure he'll be raising it here.
8 Mac.
Raised to 800 by Robert. Suited calls.
Suited calling with the 3-4 offsuit.
Action on suited Dan first to act. 800 bet by Robert. Takes it down.
Still behind.
Ed to act first.
The one thing about suited Dan, he calls a lot of hands, and sometimes it just drains him. After he'll build up a chip stack and then just call, and then next thing you know, he doesn't have any chips.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
That's where they came up with that word. For the etymology of that word.
This hand is 200, 400. Next hand will be 300, 600.
Thanks, Bobby.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm getting used to this seat.
Appreciate you, man.
Ed with the ace 9. Let's see what he does here. It's either ship or fold, yeah.
Folds around to suited Dan in the small blind. Raises to 1,200. Max lets it go.
Really? A decent chip stack.
Well, that's why I was
And
surprised
very
you did it.
Well, I very seldom get in a hand right, and that was the last hand before the break. But I also thought, you know what, this would be a good spot. I thought it'd be a good spot to push, but
Yeah.
And I think any other hand that Corey might have had, and I think I'd take it down.
If you look at Corey's position on the table, where he was in early to mid position. He does not tend to get out of line, especially that early. He's not raising anything there but premium hands, I'd say 90% of the time.
Well,
that's all. I mean, just where he was in the position there is.
he could have bet that same thing with jacks.
Well, he could have,
I mean,
but that's still, you don't want to.
18
Do you want to go in
1,800
king jack
bet
versus
by
jack?
suited Dan.
You're a huge underdog.
Well, I didn't put him on aces.
Well, no, you can't ever put him on aces.
And
You just got to think what you can beat. What hands he's raising that you can beat.
My squad.
Well, my play did not work.
Well, no, I'm just talking strategy right now.
Yeah.
Robert tagged first.
Well, again, I went against my normal playing style to shove at that point, but you know, I had doubled up twice on a short stack, and you know, I don't know. I felt pretty good. I could have just bought the hand, but yeah, that was painful.
It always is.
15 minutes,
It wasn't
30
like I
seconds
could
left.
even get in my car and drive home and scream at the radio.
You had to come
I
in
have
here.
to come into the booth and be all calm and collected.
Action on Robert.
Especially with a couple other players with shorter stacks, I didn't need to go out first tonight.
Let's see, we got Max with King, Queen.
And not much else cooking.
He'll probably raise this up on the button.
With no
I would-
callers.
Yeah.
Raised to 1800 by Max. Folds around. Corey to act first.
Ed with fours. I think we might see Ed chip it here. Corey with ace 10. He's going to be raising.
Going up. 15.
Raised to 1500 by Corey.
Well, Ed did triple up. He doesn't have to ship it. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but he's still short stack.
Well, yeah. But he
That's
does.
2300.
Yeah, right. Surprised he didn't ship it there, actually.
Robert
yeah,
calls.
just under 6. Heads up.
I don't really like how you let players know stats like that.
Because they weren't even talking to you, huh?
Yeah, they hear it.
I don't care.
Maybe they should.
Corey way out in
They should
front
notice
here.
that stuff. They should notice it on their own. The dealer's not supposed to. You know the rules.
I'm talking about?
Both players check.
Sometimes for life TV, you have to bend the rules.
Yeah, Corey's got a bet here once he's checked twice.
Corey bets 1300.
With the gut shot. First Rob's probably looking at it as a gut shot too. How much was Corey's
13.
1300?
Really don't like
Robert
that
calls.
call.
Check start.
Jack of diamonds on the river.
He didn't hit it.
Check, check.
Both players check.
7 ace. And this one's straight though.
Ace 10 will take it.
Trying to figure out what hand I can take. Where's your
Bluff
bluff?
you off
Off
that.
is not really
Chasing those gutter ball straights will
Matt called
kill
it
you
like
all
99.
the time, yeah.
Chasing gut shots, that's so hard.
Open enders aren't a good bet. Let
Suited
alone
Dan to
gut
act
shots.
first.
Thank God they don't call you naked, Dan. I'd be scared.
Wow.
Naked Dan with pocket kings this hand.
Suited Dan. Now I can see you. You can never complain about your cards.
Yeah, but he's gonna raise it up
Is
here.
he going to overbet it? No.
18.
Raised to 1800 by suited
All
Dan.
right.
Hey, he's not gonna get any action though.
No.
That's the thing. You can get great hands all night long. If you don't get no action, it doesn't do you much good.
Button moves, max stacked first.
Yeah, but when you get a hand like that, you just know, when you are going to be getting the action. There,
Right.
it's easy to sit here and see the weak hands that are at the table.
Oh no, I'm just saying that you got to be lucky enough to get them against a hand. Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Who would have thought Paul Boston was that loud?
All I heard was, whoa, 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 whoa.
We know it's not Moscow, it's his mom. So.
Speak up, Robert.
We might get a big hand going here. We get ace king versus ace queen.
I mean, we took another burger.
All right, Max and suited Dan.
Nobody did that for me.
Hey.
Ed's not going to do anything. What's Max? Max is reaching for
You want
chips.
some math in your head real quick?
Raised to 1800 by max.
100. You like suited Dan's last raise?
6 times 3.
Let's see if suited Dan re-raises with the ace king.
He might shove. He might shove. Max will call.
They do like playing pots against each other.
No, he's not shoving. It looks like
Suited Dan calls.
smooth
Yeah.
call.
I would have liked to re-raise there. Now he's playing out of position.
Suited Dan checks.
This is a good bet by Max.
2500 and bet by max. All in.
That is
suited.
a great move.
Suited
oh my
Dan all in.
goodness.
2,000. It's gonna be 4,100 more.
How much?
4,100 more.
I just don't see how he could possibly make this call. Those chips are gone. Let him go, Max.
He really doesn't like to get outplayed by Dan.
Yeah, and they've yeah, that's a good fold.
Yeah, you can see he's folding with disgust.
Max folded.
That was a very good all-in by suited Dan.
Exactly.
He's just lucky Max didn't have a pair.
Yeah, ace-7.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like eights or
Yeah.
nines, raising
Yeah.
it up there. He would have had to call.
That was a very good bet.
I'll take it, Bruce. Fair enough.
Suited Dan's constantly ribbing him too.
Great buddy.
I'll tell you the break.
Suited Dan's constant.
I mean,
ribbing
Max
everybody.
made a very good read there too. That that Dan didn't hit that flop.
Ed back first.
Dan with ace 10. He's catching some cards now.
Suited connectors, very good suited connectors.
Robert calls 600.
That 10 Jack is a favorite for a lot of players.
Raised to 2100 by Corey. Suited calls.
Well, I'm surprised Rob folded there.
2 players.
8-9 suited with position.
With 2 big stacks in the hand though.
Read the button.
Oh boy,
Sorry. No.
good check suited.
Sir, you're not in hand.
Please,
Dealer.
do not encourage action.
Very good check.
Come on, man. I'm short.
Excuse me, buddy.
Corey bets 3000.
Now is he push again here, or is he smooth call? He
Suited
needs the
Dan all
smooth
in.
Call here. smooth call, I think, really would have been the move right there, don't you think?
I think so too, yeah. But
Because there's no flush draws out there.
He's hoping
Top
Corey's
two.
got the big ace, though, is what he's hoping.
He's basically got you covered. He has you covered.
Yeah, he's hoping Corey's got the big ace. And I don't see Corey calling here. He's doing the math now.
This is definitely a fun perspective from this side
Oh, I enjoy it.
to watch this.
Yeah, he did the math, and I think he had.
Corey does call.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the call. I really am.
I'm not. I'm pretty sure the math dictated the call there. If Dan doesn't have the 10 to go with the ace, I think it's the right call. He's getting the proper odds there.
1 out of 8 times today, I'll give it to you right now.
Corey out in 6th place.
Because somebody actually hits from the flop. Good deal, Corey.
Well, I got it. Oh, for yourself.
Bobby B million all in.
58.
B million in with the all in with a 3-4,
5,800.
and they should take it down.
He shipped it.
7 high. 7 high. No good.
I think Bobby's realizing there's some big chip stacks out there, and he's starting getting some chips.
Can I have some of those chips?
No. You can have them all in the turn favor.
Robert Dag first.
Suited Dan with another ace here. Ace deuce, though, so I don't think he'll be playing that. And Max with an ace deuce also, although he's got the button. He might raise that.
Call 600 by Max.
I don't understand the button calls. You're just pricing bad hands in to beat you.
Ed Wigler all in.
17.
1,700 total.
Max is gonna I mean, there's no way he's gonna fold this.
Yeah, he's got a call, yeah.
Max calls.
Yeah.
I mean, with that chip stack.
Maybe look like 17 point match.
Ace deuce versus 10 queen.
Ed's definitely live. Hi, Corey.
Welcome, Corey.
We have Ed all in this hand
I folded one of Ed's queens.
against heads up with Max.
I folded one of them straight out.
He's got some outs.
Queen or 10, or Ed is done.
7, 8, 9, 10. High ground straight. Lost one.
Ace high wins.
Reverse tilt.
Ed out.
I think that's what the fun part of it.
No, what's messed up?
Community cards dodged. Ed's cards.
That last hand
Game, Ed.
against Dan. Was it the math that made you
He's
make
on
it?
the round
Pretty
for
much, if he
stack
doesn't
early.
have the 10, you're pretty much, yeah.
That's what.
Right.
Be on there,
Which one?
and I'd seen him make the exact same with withdraws. I was pretty sure the hand previous.
Suited Dag first.
Marco, I think, probably done suited connectors or something like that.
You didn't put him on the ace, obviously.
I mean, I didn't think he.
Even if he does have the ace, as long as he doesn't have the 8 like the ace 10,
Yeah.
I think it's the right call.
Bobby all in.
Yeah,
How much you dealing with?
2 pair there. It's
Yeah.
total. He had been calling most of my bets, so I
Right. Well, he calls most of everybody's bets. He does like to play some hands.
And now he's got chips, so we will see Dan in a lot of hands.
Robert folds.
Oh,
Rob makes a good fold. Bobby shoved with ace-7.
Yeah. He's full. Loves his aces. Loves them. You sleep with them. Bring the 8. Bring the 8. Just brown egg.
Yeah, you'll be shocked at how many I fold.
That's how the black egg turned into a red one.
No, that's a nice one folder.
Rob has folded some hands tonight that he normally would call with.
I don't mind folding.
First act is Max with folds.
Correct. Okay.
Yes, we are. B million with 5s. I'm expecting him to get it in.
Yeah, and I don't know if Rob's going to be fearful with his king queen in his hand or not.
He just folded an ace to him. the
B
hand
million all in.
before.
I fold.
Robert
Okay.
folds. Suited Dan folds.
Wow.
He has seen king queen lose too much tonight, and I think he was going to be done.
No, when you call her.
Collusion.
Well, there was times tonight where king queen was played when it was really no need.
Such a magic love player.
Guys were calling all ins, that were 12 times the big blind.
Yeah, well, I doubled up twice with
Right.
Rob calling with king queen, and
Yeah, that was while Bobby's going to get it all in here again with ace
Action
queen.
on B million.
Max, I don't know. Max like a big suited connector like that?
Bobby all in.
I think it depends on the chip count.
Once again, that's a hand that looks pretty, but
Oh, Jack Queen suited was.
Bobby takes it down.
In the last hand of the World Series of Poker main event.
That was the question.
Is that a break?
is it break time?
I believe it is.
You were getting a little crazy. That's why I was calling.
No, I actually.
See you in 10 minutes.
Look, you know what you got.
Hold on.
You're doing wonderful.
I had a great face for radio.
You're doing wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. I always forget to look up there because I get confused and I'm always staring here.
I'm sorry.
There to see where all the action is.
Still count too.
Okay.